On the women's basketball court, Kentucky and Vanderbilt, both right now jockeying for position in the SEC tournament. And by the way, it's also senior day. The SEC tournament starting on March 4th. And we are set to begin in Memorial Gymnasium. Kentucky controls the opening tip. Tony Morgan, one of the best point guards in the country, with the basketball and will run the offense. Hassett dumps into Strack. Strack goes under the D after the fact, misses the layup, and then Tiani Key is fouled after the offensive rebound. So Tiani Key back after dislocating her right elbow. You still see she still has the brace. And what a difference she's made.
You know, bulk of these losses, 4 of them was without her in the lineup. So Kentucky feels like they are getting their full roster back right at the right time.
Mikayla Blakes, Commodores' first possession. They only had 6 total turnovers the first time these two teams met. That was February 5th.
And Kentucky, on the other hand, that's one of the reasons that they got themselves into that position. They turned the ball over a bunch during this Vanderbilt matchup. They've got to clean those up today.
Asia Boone bangs the 3 in the corner. And one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Millie Hassett, and Hassett ducks down a 3. Thanks so much, Jen. We go from one exciting game to another here in Memorial Gymnasium. This is what March looks like in February. 2 of the best in the country going at it. Kentucky in Music City to face Vanderbilt, and already we have seen the 3s raining down. Sam Gore along with Brooke Weisbrod with you. It's been a fun start so far, Brooke.
Yeah, Asia Boone knocking down a 3 for Kentucky, and so they're immediately responding, Vanderbilt is, with their defense.
Hassett, her second made 3.
And that's what you get. We saw these two teams give us quite a show in early February. 21 threes between the two teams.
It is senior day here at Vanderbilt, so a different starting lineup for Vanderbilt. This is the first time they have deviated from their traditional 5 all season. No Galvan in the starting lineup, no Washington. Mikayla Blakes off the mark, good offensive rebound, and the stick back by Mitchell.
The 6'4" junior from Colorado's got to play big today to match that Kentucky lineup. Sasha Washington not in the game today. She is dressed, did come out for warm-ups, but did not participate in the shoot-around.
Boone made one earlier, makes another one. Oh, why are you kidding me?
And now you know why. Had quick release, great spacing and passing so far for Kentucky.
Well, now keep in mind, Vanderbilt averages a league-leading 10 threes per game. And we could spend a lot of time talking about the milestones both of these head coaches have achieved in their short time at both schools.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the cool nuggets reading about Kenny Brooks was that in 24 years, he's only had 1 losing season.
Clara Strack, how about that move? Are you kidding me?
How about the real estate she can get with just that stutter step, terrific pivot, and then the big step to get by the defense. Kentucky's size, they're one of the largest teams in the country, but that was a heck of a pass down low.
Yeah, good feed from Pissott. She's already got 6 points.
Yeah, I like having Justine Pissott step out. Of course, you know her as a 3-point shooter, but I think as a passer, she's incredibly talented, and that's good help side defense, but the post play today, that's going to be key with Tiani Key.
These two teams met 10 days ago in the other Memorial in Lexington. And although Kentucky was leading by 4 heading into the 4th quarter, Vanderbilt pulled it out on the road.
Just on the way we turn it over, those line ball turnovers where Vandy could just get going.
Pissott, speaking of getting going, she is a momentum shooter. She makes one, they're going to come in bunches. So how relentless has Kentucky been in the first meeting 10 days ago? They only scored 16 points the entire first quarter. Already 18 right away. Obi into the game for the first time, back at her natural 4 and score.
No points in her last 5 games, and Kenny Brooks talked to us again this morning about that. He said we need to get Jordan Obi going off the bench. Good for her to come in and take that shot.
Pissott makes the mid-range.
And her game has grown and expanded into other areas. Of course, known as a three-point shooter, but she's doing so much more.
And Asia Boone having a chat with Coach Brooks. It's unique for the head coaches. They're on the sidelines, but their benches are under the basket here. So coaches talk to players as they're coming off the floor in a different spot.
Yeah, Kenny Brooks told us, he's going to look to his assistants to get some advice or figure out what's going on in the game.
Ballot for National Player of the Year, Clara Strack and Mikayla Blakes. Morgan has it struck by Blakes. Good team.
What a recovery.
Galvan, the freshman point guard, with the ball in her hands. Blakes for 3. Anchor down.
And here's Blakes, the great vision down the floor from Tony Morgan. And Morgan just gets stripped clean. Blake somehow stays inbounds. And then Galvan, you already know, these two work together so well. I love the combo inside.
Obi draws the foul. Who was a 3-time All-Ivy League performer at Penn. Makes her free throw. Big Monday on ESPN and the ESPN app. 2 of the best places to ever see men's college basketball. Louisville will be there. And then Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas, will be hosting Houston. That's tomorrow night on ESPN and the app. I know where I'll be tomorrow night. That's going to be a good game. 2 good games.
Absolutely. We just have the top 4 teams playing on the men's side as well. As Galvan showing us some top-tier moves herself.
The 5'6" freshman sensation. She and Aaliyah Chavez of Oklahoma expected to battle it out for Rookie of the Year in the SEC. And there's a 5-second count.
Vanderbilt putting the pressure on Kentucky like they did in their first matchup.
One of the rare under-the-radar recruits to play at this high of a level, and what a freshman season she's had. Baseline jumper is good. Before the season started, 2 polls in the SEC, they were picked 9th and 11th in the preseason polls.
Yeah, don't you love preseason polls? All that is just fuel to get better. And now it's dealing with being recognized as a #1 seed. How can they handle it, sustain it, maintain it? And last weekend, I was there for the upset at Georgia, and already this is a different-looking Vanderbilt team than I saw last Sunday.
And the stars shining. We just had back-to-back buckets by Strack for Kentucky and Blakes for Vanderbilt. Now another turnover forced by the Dores. Galvan. Come on! We are tied at 24. Vanderbilt has battled back. Kentucky needs to respond. Tony Morgan right down the lane, misses. Offensive rebound. Key bumped and muscles it up.
Mentioned it, Sam. They out-rebounded Vanderbilt by 18 in that first go.
A reminder, Sasha Washington has not played. It was a game-time decision. She has started every game this year. Final seconds of the first quarter winding down. Vanderbilt hoping to get a final shot off. 9/10.
He was working on a last-second 3 today, but Kentucky chooses not to.
So what a fast and furious opening quarter.
Aubrey Galvan always looking for her partner crime right there. Mikayla Blakes lining up the 3, and then Galvan's like, yeah, I got a little shimmy shake of my own. Don't worry about it. Little fadeaway 3 after the spin move, knocking it down.
I mean, we were still talking about that play on the break. I'm not going to forget that forever. That was an amazing move.
I can't wait to see that go through my social feed. I'm just double tapping all day on that.
Another behind the back move from Galvan. Kentucky trying to lock down now. Galvan will shoot the long distance shot. Not good. Winnintondo lost it out of bounds, so Kentucky will get it back.
Because she's able to create so much off the bounce. Her vision is exceptional. She's giving you so many assists. She can go for 9 or 10 a game, sometimes 16.
Strack. Little fadeaway. She owns that shot. So good on that fadeaway and draws a foul as well. She is the reigning SEC Player of the Week and the reigning Naismith National Player of the Week. Good D by the Wildcat. Shot clock down to 4. Galvan got to make something happen. Pulls the trigger. Hassett clears the rebound.
And the zone for Kentucky effective in forcing Vanderbilt to take a deep shot. see how Kentucky responds and go back to Strack if they can.
Boone always looking to shoot distance. This time it's a 2. Her parents both in the military and both fly. And seeing the movie Top Gun is what clinched it for her when she was a little girl.
Yeah, already 40 hours plus in the plane. I trust her.
Galvan. Such a pretty shot. I mean, does Galvan do anything just normal? Pissott always ready to shoot.
Yeah, after a blazing first quarter, we got to hit the cool here in this second.
Well, Pissott came out, made her first 2 threes. She's now missed 3 in a row. The Aussie. For our parents watching us 13 hours ahead, so good day. It's Monday morning in Australia. And there's Galvan again.
They are adjusting well with that Sasha Washington in the lineup.
Pissott again. Boom, Millie Pissott, who grew up playing netball in Australia. So she is a dead-eye shooter.
Yeah, she did get a good look at, what basketball could be like, on an international level playing that game. I can only imagine how much that improved her shooting. That'd be really hard to learn how to play the game.
Pissott, speaking of shooting, deadly from 3. So both coaches going deep in the bench here in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 teams that, players who start, they run minutes. Mikayla Blakes, Galvan, both 33 minutes plus, along with Morgan.
Morgan to Boone. They're playing catch on the perimeter. And Asia Boone.
Her game is so tight. She's able to just hold on to that ball. Efficient dribbles. Like, there's no wasted movement, space, nothing. She is just pure basketball. I love watching her play.
Boone's the first Wildcat in double figures today. Here's Galvan pulling for 3.
The freshman putting on a show, showing no signs of freshman legs, getting tired this late in the season. She's just getting going.
Asia Boone's now made at least 3 threes in 7 straight games. Number 8 in blue. There's Morgan going to work inside. Nice shot. Took what was there.
Yeah, she's such a facilitator, but, catch you sleeping, and she's going to take you right to the rack. She's done a great job of figuring out how to score off the bounce.
Good ball movement. Galvan open for 3. Nothing but net. 14 points for Galvan. Carroll open for 3, and Carroll off the bench nails the 3.
It's a difficult pass to make. That's cross court into the shooter's pocket, and immediately Carroll goes up for the shot.
26 of her 35 made shots this year have been 3s, so teams know when Carroll comes in, she's going to be looking to shoot that 3. Galvan finally shows some humanity. Boone misjudged that. How tough is it to shoot in Memorial, do you think, Brooke, when you're not used to playing here? Vanderbilt hasn't lost here all year.
Yeah, well, I mean, you wouldn't tell by the way Kentucky shot in the first quarter that they felt any type of way. And Mikayla Blakes loves shooting in front of this crowd, getting them off their feet.
It is such a unique venue. Kentucky up 1. They had a big lead to start the game. Vanderbilt caught up. Kentucky led by 2 at the end of the quarter. And Toni Morgan is heating up offensively. She is the leader in the nation in total assists.
Good screen in CL2. Claire Strack able to give her that room so that Toni Morgan could take that next dribble, get the rhythm, and go up with it.
Oh, Blakes.
Pretty.
Had Strack on her back. And Blakes, 15 points here in the first half. We're down to about 90 seconds remaining. Carroll has come off the bench and made 2 3-pointers. Final seconds of the half. Blakes draws the foul on the way to the bucket and will go to the line. Kentucky's 5 of 5 from the line. And last weekend, you were on the game at Georgia. She was 19 of 20 from the free throw line.
Boone just checking in. Sam, they ran a play and shoot around for her to get a 3. Let's see if they do it here.
Key with the ball at the moment to Morgan. Morgan to Strack. Strack will shoot for three. And it is off the mark. But Kentucky has got to be happy with this opening half as Kentucky. Vanderbilt's last 34 points, Mikayla Blakes or Aubrey Galvan have either scored or assisted on every one of those baskets. And for Kentucky, the depth just shining. 7 players have 4 or more points right now for the Wildcats. Blakes, first shot of the quarter, and it is good.
She's such a dangerous driver that, you forget all she's got to do is pull back. And she's got the spacing she needs for that quick, smooth, silky J.
Boone and Asia Boone, much like she started the game.
She's become such a reliable shooter for this offense. And you mentioned her last few games, 6 games, she's hit 24 threes.
Tony Morgan, after the turnover, Strack had trouble handling it. She swats it out, and good pickup by Morgan. Good heads-up play by Strack.
Yeah, she really had to get low for that one. The 50-50 ball could be the difference in this game. I mean, the margin of error is so slim.
Strack, double team comes over. No problem. Clara Strack.
Great skill sets. He's being able to play with physicality on her and still find a way to get the shot off.
9 points for Strack now. Pissott gives it up. And off the glass. Nice bank shot by Ayanna Mitchell. And Boone throws it right to Galvan. How sneaky is that? Look at that pass. And Blakes with the finish. More style points.
Immediately turns the Jets on. Gets downhill for the layup.
That's a freshman and a sophomore, folks. Enjoy that for the next few years. Strack rims out. And Galvan runs down the rebound. Galvan only 5'6". Creates an opening and gets the roll.
Sam, she's playing incredibly well in that sweet spot of taking shots when they're available and not trying to do too much. What composure for the freshman.
Nice take, doesn't go in. Key with the offensive rebound. Back into Strack. And Strack draws the foul. Only player in the nation averaging at least 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. This Thursday, and then we'll cap the night off by Madison Booker, last year's SEC Player of the Year. 4th-ranked Texas hosting Georgia. All games like everything else on the ESPN app.
Get to be, 6 foot and then 6'5". You got to play down low, but those guard moves benefit her. Off the scoreboard, off the free throw line, you see what she's been able to do today. And back in February, she dropped nearly 40.
2 other active players are ahead of her, Hannah Hidalgo and Audie Crooks. Have both scored in the 90s consecutively in double figures. Vanderbilt up 1 here in the 3rd quarter. They beat Kentucky by 1 10 days ago. Morgan slicing through the defense, and then the offensive rebound and stick back for Clara Strack. Second foul on Galvan, and Clara Strack at the free throw line now. Strack with 12 points today, completes the 3-point play. Last Sunday against Ole Miss was responsible for an 8-0 run in the 4th quarter that basically sealed the game for Kentucky in the win over Ole Miss. Galvan, nice pass, and the finish.
In their first matchup, Vanderbilt was able to press and force Kentucky into so many turnovers, 20 of them, and then get 25 points off. And Key's going to be called for the offensive foul.
He got her above the neck.
Yes, he's trying to establish position. The elbow gets her at the chin, and so above the shoulders, the contact excessive and unnecessary fits the criteria.
And so Blakes will have 2 free throws, then Vanderbilt will get the ball after the flagrant one was called on Key. These are money. Blakes, 86% free throw shooter. She was 19 of 20 last Sunday.
Going to go up against a Vanderbilt player to see if they were going to block it. So she came in with all that energy and then just overshot it.
Obi intercepts the pass. Kentucky needs a bucket. No contact, no foul. Obi will try again. So that was good for them to see the ball go through the net.
You know, no matter what Kentucky has faced today, they started off this game strong, and then they've been resilient against the Vanderbilt wave that we knew was going to happen.
Blakes bouncing right to Strack. Here's Strack, an example of her handling. Coast to coast for Clara Strack. Is she a point guard?
I know she had a little Euro step in her game.
Strack, SEC Player of the Week as well. Just one of the most complete players in Division I basketball.
Kentucky does well when she does well. They are 24 and 4 when she has a double-double.
Strack has 8 of Kentucky's last 10 points. Shot clock under 10. Pissott gets caught, finds Black. Black feeds it inside. Shot clock, will it expire? Oh!
Perfect pass instead of just playing some basketball.
So Mitchell goes to the free throw line now. On ESPN and the app tomorrow night, the Tar Heels of North Carolina in the Dean Smith Center. You can see the original rules of basketball. And Kansas will host Houston at 9 Eastern. Boy, it never gets easier for Houston, does it?
It's life in the Big 12.
I'll have to check that out on the app. I'm going to be at a game at Auburn tomorrow night. Key, sweet, nice pure jumper by Tiani Key.
She had a great game. Hassett as well.
Nice pass. Mitchell doesn't get the finish. Key grabs another rebound.
And Strack may have gotten a piece of that ball.
5 rebounds now for Tiani Key. Under 2 to play in the third quarter. Tony Morgan creating and scoring. Her next block will set the record, so I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
They talk about leveling up. She's literally putting it on display. Got another one there to break the record, I believe.
Yeah. So another single season record, and why not score off of it? Kentucky has now made their last 5 shots. The action right now.
And she looks uncomfortable out there trying to work through pain. And meanwhile, Galvan making it rain.
Aubrey Galvan has been an instant highlight. Opens the fourth quarter on the bench. And I'm sure we'll see her shortly. So Kentucky, can they hang on here in the fourth quarter? And Vanderbilt lost last Sunday. That was their last game. Nice start. Pissott with a good pass over the block. Strack feeding Obi. Obi trying to take the baseline. And one. And a foul on Black. She would not be denied, Brooke.
Obi so strong in the post. Getting it on the block. Little face-up game. Bodying up, just willing her way to the other side of the rim to get the shot.
Who had been a starter until 4 games ago, and they decided to bring her off the bench so she could play her natural 4 position. Very good golfer. Excellent golfer. Fascinating person off the court. As Michigan was just behind them in the initial top 16 reveal. Galvan's open. And it will stay with Vanderbilt. So Strack heads off. Strack with 17 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists. But to your point, Brooke, we haven't seen a Mikayla Blakes basket since the 7:58 mark in the third quarter. Until now.
She said, I got something for you, Sam. Get low, get past the defense, and then left hand with the spin finish. That was left hand, right? I think so.
Yeah.
It looked like it from here. She's such a blur. Sometimes it's hard to see.
Blakes completes the 3-point play. Always love doing games when the stars are shining, and they certainly are today. These two have come to play. Morgan, pure, sweet jumper.
You look at Kentucky down the line, and there's Strack, who's got 17, and Boone with 13, but all the players in double figures. Feels like it's been more balanced than that for Kentucky. Takeover time for Blakes.
Hassett to Boone. Good rebound. Nice block out by Black.
The 5'11" freshman doing the fundamentals right there to get a huge rebound. The momentum shift for Vandy is coming.
Obi fouls Blakes before she can get loose to the bucket. And the ESPN app.
It's going to be a terrific matchup there. And I see Flau'jae Johnson, a couple of the ladies at LSU working with the lethal shooter. Keep their long range in order. And just how physical has this game been? You know, Blake's having to go between two tall defenders and still finds the only window possible for the shot attempt.
Well, you just witnessed Mikayla Blakes' 10th 30-point game this season. In fact, she's averaging 30 a game in the SEC, the nation's leading scorer. Now Vanderbilt back up by a point. They have caught Kentucky and passed them for now. Key draws the foul.
Yeah, the work they do just getting themselves into position in order.
Key getting close to a double-double. Now 10 points, 8 rebounds. And more importantly for her, puts Kentucky back up by a point. But just another typical day in the SEC, huh? Blakes gets loose for another bucket.
Ready to get off their feet. Got the student section across from us. They've been hyped this whole game.
Again, one of the more unique venues in college athletics where the benches are under the baskets. Strack, Hassett for three. And Hassett knocks down the three-pointer to extend the Kentucky lead back to 2. Blake's trying to create. Good D by Boone.
Yeah, good job to use her feet to stay in front of her to slide without using her hands.
Blake's relentless. And one from Mitchell. Third foul on Boone. Mitchell with 12 points today. Under 4 to play. Boone probing. To Key, now Hassett. Strack, little fadeaway. Doesn't get the roll. Vanderbilt can retake the lead.
Kentucky's had this lead for almost 30 minutes of this game. Vanderbilt just 3 minutes leading. It's starting to get tight here in the third quarter. What will Galvan do? In the fourth, I should say. Excuse me.
Turnover on the Dores. 2-on-2. Hassett will shoot the three as the trailer, and it works out. Blake's trying to answer. Good save. Black. Overshot. And Hassett grabs the rebound. In her hometown, and her family has a way to watch these games. So we again say good day.
Breakfast and basketball, Sam.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Blakes rips it away from Strack. And Blakes unable to get the bucket to go down, but Vanderbilt keeps it. Pissott. She'll take the three. Kentucky gets the ball on its side of the court after that timeout. We're tied at 77. Boone open for three.
Great box out by Blakes.
One minute left. Blakes gets loose, draws the foul on Boone. That'll be number 4.
But it's tough because she stays so low and she's so quick. And by the time you realize you got to help, it's too late.
Points for Blakes. Kentucky can retake the lead. Morgan, good switch. Morgan trying to get around Black. Does, banks it in. Timeout Vanderbilt.
Let's see if she's got one in her right now.
Any foul on a Kentucky player against Vanderbilt puts him at the free throw line. Vanderbilt still has one foul to give.
And they've got Key on Blakes, trying to keep a larger defender on.
Galvan has not scored this quarter with the ball. Got a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Galvan shooting. First bucket of the quarter. And Vanderbilt goes up one. Timeout, Kentucky. So Kentucky ball, 7.9 seconds remaining. Vandy up one. They have not lost at home this entire season. Pass it gets to Morgan. Morgan making her move. So that was the foul they had to give. Officials trying to get a little separation between the players for this final play. Strack takes it. Loses the ball. And a foul called with still some time remaining. The game is not over yet.
Yeah, Blake's going to walk up to the line, a place where she feels very comfortable. Look at her, so at ease right now. And hoping to put this game in further distance for Kentucky, who only would have time for a catch and shoot off .7. Oh. And tried to miss it on purpose. I like the thought.
Lane violation. Things are getting interesting here because now Kentucky with .7 can get a shot. A 2 ties, a 3 wins. And it's over. Once again, Kentucky and Vanderbilt produce an incredible game. And Vanderbilt hangs on for their 20th.